salad.
I'm a Raiders fan. Born in Oakland, I will always be loyal to the silver and black.
I'm a Raider because I came back to the Bay from LA with my team.
I'm an Oakland Raider fan because of my grandmother. Town business.
I'm a Raider fan. My grandmother raised me as a Raider fan. Tailgate, and people give you a beer. I mean, for real, like, because you're a Raider, and we got you. So it's just
that's how this is going.
Everything. I mean, I just remember, to me, what hooked me more than anything in the world was walking in and everyone just Raiders! Raiders! And that was it. Oh my God! What went through my body there?
Yep.
Let's go.
What's up,
What's
folks?
up? What is up?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. I was just thinking, like, is this our first Saturday morning pregame show? I feel like all our other pregame shows came at like some sort of event we were at or something.
Yeah, you're thinking of that.
All right, we'll try. We'll trying something new. Maybe we get a different audience here. Someone who's all still cuddled in bed with their coffee and wants to. Good morning, Robert Pena, Raider Travis. What's up, Cisco Kid in the house?
Kid.
What's up, Melissa? Folks? So if you are awake and you are ready to drink, we still, even though it's early Saturday morning, we still the tailgate of Raiders YouTube. So no days off here. So the drinking game alert is must win, baby. I've got my Mexican tequila here to add to my coffee this morning. Must win, baby. I'm just gonna put just a little. Is that a little?
No, that's not a little.
That maybe not have been a little.
That's okay. Catch up to me now.
All right, sounds good. And then also, if you haven't already, light that torch and hit that like button. Share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, we got someone popped over from the other tailgate. Q-Ski!
Hey, good morning, Raider Nation. Spicy Thor. Omar.
What up, you?
Oh, good.
Oh, look at that. Who's the one missing?
Oh, Mia's gone. No, you're here.
I'm here.
I can hear you in the background, Mia.
We hear you. That's all that matters. You're alive.
For those of you that don't know, Mother Moon earned the nickname one season, Mia, MIA, missing in action, because you never know where she was. All right, let's talk about some Raiders football coming off of a disastrous week. And the Bengals are coming off a bye week. I think this is a must-win game. That's the drinking game alert. Drink, toke,
must win, baby.
I think they're all must-win games, but this one definitely. We need to start at some spot, so might as well start this Sunday, right?
There you go.
Hey, let's go get it. Let's go get it, man.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately. Go ahead, Thor.
I was going to say, last time we had the big distraction with Coach Gruden, lost 2 games and then came back. So let's hope the big distraction with Ruggs, it took a couple games to get over, and hopefully we're good to go this week.
That's our standard. That's our standard these days. Big distraction, lose 2 games and bounce back.
But I mean, in between the distractions too is all the injuries. And again, last week lost Alec Ingold. Faison is questionable at that starting cornerback position. So, what are we going to – hopefully he plays because he's done a lot better than Amik Robertson. So, I mean, like I say, it's going to be a big question mark. What'd you say, Q?
And he's done a lot better than number 10, I think, Trufant.
Yeah. Trufant didn't look, he's long in the tooth, man. So,
right.
I mean, right now he's a body.
Right.
So, I mean, that's for real. So, hopefully.
With all we've been going through this year, with all the distractions and all this, just the stuff going on, a lot of people thought this team would have just totally tanked. I mean, that last Sunday night, it looked like a tank.
I was like, did they not?
But they won a couple games in a row. I think
Hey,
they'll be all right.
winning cures all wounds. Winning cures all wounds.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think at this point, though, I mean, if you think from the beginning of the season till now, even with the distractions, I think the injuries is hurting us even more. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
I think on the O-line, they've hurt us, especially when you had already let go of your 2 starters in the offseason, and then you put together, I won't say a patchwork line, but you put together the best group of guys you can, and then you lose a couple of them, and then everything else. I mean, distractions aside, it's hard to shuffle in mid-season and replace starters with guys who were sitting at home. You know what I mean? Relatively. So, yeah, I think we have our work cut out for us. Can we win?
Yeah.
Of course we can. Of course we can win. Any given Sunday we can win, but we got to put together our best work. You know what I mean?
Hey, to the injury point though, and I agree with you. The injuries have been rough, but every team faces injuries. I don't know about the Bengals. I don't care about the Bengals.
They're pretty healthy. They only got 2
injury
players.
issues. Everyone does 10 weeks into a football season. There's big dudes out there hitting each other. People are going to get hurt. So,
yeah, but we started that.
No excuses. We got to win this game. No excuses.
No excuse, but you got to acknowledge we've been having injury issues since game 1. So, like I say, 2 starters gone by game 1. Like I said, I'm just saying. It seemed like every other game we lose somebody.
The Alex Ingold thing, we were noticing that the field with chunks of the field were flying up at more of a rapid pace than normal. And when I was there for the Eagles game, it was bye week. I went there. I was there for like 5 days. I went by the stadium every day to check on the field. They completely ripped it out. They put new sod in, which seemed unnecessary. So to me, that injury came from that field really not being set and ready, which is unfortunate because nobody touched him on that. He really just tweaked his ankle, and it's like, okay, well, you just put the sod in, and did it really even need to be redone? It's like, okay, you don't, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Like, do you really need new sod and make it all green and pristine at the cost of injuring people?
Well,
and
we
that's
were noticing
that.
Yeah, we were noticing, there were some players stepping the grass back into the chunks that were missing.
Yeah.
It was really loose. So maybe that had something to do with the injuries.
So that was just kind of
Washington went through something like that where the same part of the field took out like 2 or 3 of their players. Did anybody read that story?
I missed that one.
That's how Chase Young got hurt?
Huh?
Is that how Chase Young got hurt?
I think that was part of that story where they were like, hey, this same little part of the field has took out a couple of players. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Could be something to that, like Angela's talking about, replacing sod. Is it too fresh? You know what I mean? Causing people to slip up and things. I don't know, but yeah.
Maybe we have a sod expert out there to tell us. Does it need to be rooted in?
There we go.
Let's get Gorilla on the line.
Yeah.
Who knows their grass?
Yeah.
As much as they get paid, let them play on gravel. I don't know.
Exactly.
And as much as the NFL brings in, you just think they would have you playing on the right surface.
You would think.
Mm-hmm. You would think.
You would think. That might be, too easy though.
Right.
Good
I remember playing on that hard ass AstroTurf.
Monster.
I got playing on concrete.
Hey, let them get out there and play on concrete, man. I mean, we did all that crazy nonsense.
How about a baseball infield? That was my favorite.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Let's go.
Just kidding. Kind of. Good morning, Kelly Gonzalez. Good morning,
really,
Raiders Gear and Threads. Good morning, Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis says, what's y'all's season prediction now? That's a good question now.
Good question, Jeff. Well, I'm still, here we go. I'm not as optimistic as I am, and it's not, like I say, I am not as optimistic because of, I think more so than the distractions, the injuries. I just think it's extremely hard when you've been losing starters from the gate. And like I say, if you're not a consistently winning team with lots of depth, which I think we're proving that we're not. I'm not that optimistic. Can we win some games? Yeah, we are. But are we going to be 13-4?
13-4.
That's what you got?
What?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking.
Oh. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Right. That's why I say I'm not as optimistic as I was. No, I'm not going. I don't think we're going to go 13-4. So.
And that was your original. Was that your original prediction?
No, I think it was 12-5, and then when we won that game against Baltimore,
okay.
I said 13-4. I was living high on the hog at that moment.
So you're giving up on your 12-5. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not confident about that.
One more.
Hey, I would love to be proven wrong, and you guys could talk hellish shit and drag me through the mud because I would be gleefully happy to be wrong.
Right. I mean, I didn't have a prediction number. I never had a prediction number. I always said that they'd be fighting for third place, and I still think that's about right where they're going to land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Q, what do you think? Or
Thor. Go ahead, Q.
I think my prediction was beginning of the season was 11-6. So seeing all what's going on, all this happened, all the injuries, you know, I'm still always optimistic. So I might stick with my 11-6. I'm still in range.
You still there? Yep.
Yeah, I'm still in range.
Hey, I'm rooting for you, Q. I'm rooting for you, bro. I'm gonna jump on Q bandwagon. You know what I mean? That sounds good. I'll temper my 13-4 and say, 11-6 sounds great. It's doable.
Sounds great right now, doesn't it?
Gives us a 2-game cushion. Yeah, all right.
Thor, what you think?
Way better. All right. So honestly, my season prediction was 9-8 originally. And after all this and after all the nonsense, I'm actually now saying 11-6 confidently. Yeah. I still feel confident about 11 now.
Okay, so I'm curious. So they're at 4 losses. Who do you think the other 2 are going to come from?
Okay, so I think 2 more losses. I think that Dallas on Thanksgiving is going to be tough because it's on a short week in Dallas. Dallas has a lot of offense. So I think we have a little trouble on Thursday. And then I'm not sure. I honestly think that we're going to shock the world and beat KC and KC. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's going to be a game that we're not expecting. It's going to be like the Indianapolis Colts or some nonsense. But I feel like the talent's still there. The injuries have hurt. The distractions have hurt. But from what I've seen, when none of that was happening in the Baltimore game, in the Pittsburgh game, even the end of the San Diego game, I think that the team made me feel stronger about what they were doing offensively, defensively. We still have really bad red zone issues on both.
Okay,
ends.
So who are the 2 losses come from? Who do the 2 losses come from?
So I like I said, I think Dallas and maybe Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I think if I were a betting person, I would not technically bet against the Raiders, but in theory, because it's a phrase, I would say that Dallas is going to win that game on Thanksgiving.
Well, they don't have Amari Cooper, so that gives us a shot. But they do have a kid that's intercepting everything that comes his way on their defense. But I think we have a better chance now since Amari is out the next 2 games, including that Thanksgiving game. So I like our chances.
Ironic. That's an ironic statement, isn't it? Amari Cooper's out, and we were worried about him. Man, I'll just leave that one alone.
But like I said, I'm more worried about the kid who just killing. You know, like I say, he's intercepting everything, and Carr has, he's thrown a few picks lately. So,
he got a lot of interceptions. But he also gets beat a lot too.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good.
Touchdowns.
Speaking of interceptions, let's circle back before we jump ahead to that game. I know we jumped ahead, but let's circle back to the Bengals game and talk a little bit about their quarterback, because I think he's got 20 touchdowns, but against 11 interceptions. So hopefully the Raiders can pick some this week. For some.
He's a young kid, and young kids tend to throw. He's a gunslinger, though. He's a young gunslinger. So young gunslingers tend to throw a lot of picks and throw a lot of touchdowns. They're very.
But it's their running.
Right, Angela. Let's hope. Mooring or whoever, however you say his name, can get in there and pick something off. Hopefully, I saw someone talking about bad calls in here earlier, a line for the bad calls. No, there is not. However, we all know we get a ton of bad calls. Hopefully, Mad Max could get through some of those holds. Yannick could get through some of those holds because we see them all getting held like crazy all the time, and they're not calling it. Get some pressure and make young Joe throw some picks.
Yeah,
whatever the calls are, we must win, baby. Right?
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. Hello, drinking game alert. Thank you, Moon, for keeping us there. Must win, baby. Hello.
I was getting a little thirsty.
I know, right?
We just got to keep we have to keep the Bengals running game in check because they could, we struggled against the run and they have a good running game. I mean, that's one thing I do worry about with the Bengals. And the other one, when we're talking about what could be our other loss, and I'll come right back to the Bengals though, would be like the Browns, who have a really good running game. You know what I mean? They're grungy in the trenches. So that's one of the things I think we got to worry about because we haven't done well against the run. So,
I mean, at this,
look out for.
Kind of to your point, at this point in the season, I'm worried about every team because the Raiders are so unpredictable. You never know. They beat the teams that maybe they shouldn't. They lose to the teams that we think they would destroy. To toss up with the teams that are 500, which is about what the Raiders are. I mean, you just don't know with this team. You don't know which. I feel like we've talked about this. You don't know which team you're going to get. And I think Thor said it last time. It's like they flip a coin and decide if they're going to play that day or not.
Really? That's how it feels.
Kenyon Drake was calling folks out. You're like, man, if you can't get to play this game, you need to retire. So, hey, I hope that sentiment has spread through the locker room and got some guys fired up because it sounded like he's not holding any punches and it sounds like he believes. You know what I mean? I think he's looking around and saying, dude, we can win. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't believe it, bounce.
Okay, is this true or not? That reminded me, the other team making fun of Carr on the sidelines. I don't know if you guys saw that headline.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if that's true or not, but they might have been. You know what? Good. Talk crap to him.
Everyone's talking crap to him. Who was it? Bosa talked crap to him. Whoever it was last week talking crap to him.
The announcers.
The fan. Right. It's like it's so obvious that this guy is scared. It's like everyone can see it. It's just like, come on, man.
It's like when we went to Philly, the other team.
Yep.
They were calling, hey, what's going on with that quarterback? He looks a little scared.
And I was like, you guys notice? Like, anyway. Yeah, Hefe says the bad guys in the building. It's all good, Hefe. We love having you here. You're welcome to our tailgate.
We're gonna send him a Raider shirt because I mean he's pretty much a Raider at this point. I don't even see him.
Right. Yeah. Hefe is one of them weird dudes that got like a half AC, half Raider hat on now. He's slowly coming over.
Speaking of, that's a perfect segue.
Hey, let's start calling him Raider Hefe.
There you go. Oh, I love it, Raider Hefe. But speaking of people that are halfway in and halfway out, we are going to bring in Nevada Nick.
Hey.
I actually think he's more than halfway in, but
he's
I'm
95%.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
All right, here we go. What's up, Nevada Nick? Welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Here. Money.
We are happy to have you here. We're excited to hear your picks and your insight on Raiders football. We could be jaded over here in one way or the other, so you can keep it real from a 5% outsider.
But we must win, baby. So give it to us.
Oh yeah. No, Nevada Nick, is this a must-win baby game?
I thought, to be honest, last week was. But yeah, definitely this week, especially when if you lose this game, you got Dallas on Thursday, and what's going to be a tall task on a short week, on an early game because it's a 4:00 game too. Like it's insane to me to have these guys play a game on a Thursday on as little rest as they are at 4:00 in the afternoon, which in Vegas is what, 1:00? Is that right?
2:00.
2:00. I mean, that's insane. You basically get Monday, Tuesday rest, Wednesday's travel, and you're playing Thursday. I mean, that's
actually I saw their practice schedule this week, and they are going to be practicing on Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, and then obviously, Wednesday you travel. I would take it, and then Thursday you got the game, and it's I would definitely call it a must win, especially after the last 2 weeks. And You got to make up for the games. That's what bothered me so much about the Giants and the Bears. Even if you just get one of them, you lose that Chiefs game and you say, all right, look, we lost it, but we're still in first place. We're still 6-3. There's positives to look at it. But you lose those 2 games. Now it's like, man, we're 5-4. Is what happened last year happening again? And like you said, we talked about all the distractions. That's what concerns me in regards to the Raiders. And plus now, too, Waller this week, supposedly, complaining about his targets. But, they're doubling him. He's just not as open as he was before because everybody knows he's the guy for the Raiders. He's the guy they're going to try to get the ball to.
Yeah, I actually
and some bad passes too. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. There have been some bad passes to Waller that had me upset.
And you guys were talking about with Carr, and it's true. Like, I don't think he's the problem, but I don't think he's the answer either. And to have the Chiefs on mics making fun of him, Bosa basically saying hit him hard and he's going to fold, I think they're going to really have to, depending on what happens the rest of the season. But I think especially if you don't make the playoffs, you really got to take a look at the team and wonder if he's your guy going forward because, now if they don't make the playoffs, basically it's two years in a row. You had a really good start beating good teams. I mean, they started 3-0 against playoff teams from last year, and then you're 2-4 since. So, and no matter what, it starts up top at the quarterback. When you win, you're going to get the credit. When you lose, you're going to get the blame, and that's part of playing the position.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think, just to touch back on Carr and being scared and everybody knowing it, do you think if he takes, like, instead of throwing that duck pass up or whatever they called it, or throwing it out constantly, do you think if he takes one good hard hit and bounces back up like a man and takes it, do you think that maybe changes people's minds a little bit? Do you think that needs to happen, or how does he fix the other team's perception of that?
Well, he's got to do it consistently. He's got to be able to take hit and still be looking downfield. A tough quarterback is a guy know that hit is coming. Yeah. He throws the ball, and all he cares about is what's going on down that field, and takes the hit. And you'll notice, like a Roethlisberger will be on the ground, and he's still looking downfield to see who's on the ball. Yeah. That's what you got to do. You got to do it consistently. Carr needs to take some MMA classes. He needs to get punched a lot.
I volunteer.
I would say, too, it's not the other team's perception. It's your own team's perception. When he stands and sits in there and takes a hit, those linemen are going to play harder for him to, on the next play, not to let him get hit. And, with the Raiders, that's the one thing. They've struggled to run the ball, but they actually pass protect pretty well. It's not like Carr is one of the most hit quarterbacks in the league, and they do throw a lot. I mean, we'll have to see what happens, but it's a big game on this Sunday. And like you said, it's definitely a must win.
Oh, must win, baby!
All right, yeah.
That Nick's keeping us drink.
And whoever's out there, I don't know if anyone out there is drinking and twerking. You can eat a little cigar in the morning with some coffee. Anybody?
Oh man! Speaking of cigars, if anyone is on here in Vegas, we're going to be down at 8. It's called 8. It's in the it's a new cigar lounge in the Resorts World. I'll be down there around 2 o'clock, chilling, smoking some stogies, kicking it. If y'all want to come through, definitely come through.
Ooh, let me know how that is. I've been wanting to go to Resorts World, and I keep not going.
The new cigar spot, I walked in there last night because I'm supposed to meet Anna and a couple people down there later, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was really nice. It was really nice.
Anna from Emeryville.
Cool. Let us know how that is, Thor. And also, since we're just mentioning that, tomorrow we are having a watch. Well, KOS 408 is having a watch party at South Bay Spirits.
Yep.
So we'll be there. Check it out. It's in San Jose. The place is awesome. They've got 2 giant screens, multiple TVs. There's specialty cocktails that they distill themselves. They have a DJ, raffles, and
food.
I'll be there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, a couple of people come out and make their special. What do you have? Shrimp tacos that were.
Oh yeah, those are bomb.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're around, join us for that watch party. KOS 408. All right. What else? Nevada Nick, do you want to get into your picks already?
Yeah, that works. We can do that.
Alrighty. Let's see. I'll put you on the big screen here. So
All right, perfect.
at center stage.
All right.
What's must win?
I'm gonna start with the Colts +7 against the Bills. I think that's too many points to give the Colts. I actually like the Colts. Their record doesn't show it, but I think they're a good team. I don't like how Reich's coached this year as much. Wentz is playing better. They need to run the football. Bills defense is good, but Bills don't run the ball. These teams played in the playoffs, a game the Colts probably should have won in Buffalo, but lost. I love the Colts +7. And in fact, if you got the 7 by the hook like I did, because I always like getting that extra hook, because if it lands on 7, then you take a push into a win. Then I'm going to go to the Eagles game. I'm going to go against my bird. I like the Saints +3. I just think it's too many points. I think the Saints have more balance than the Eagles. I like the Saints +3. I think they're going to come in Philadelphia and actually win the game outright. I just don't like this spot for the Eagles coming off a big win against the Broncos. And then I'm going to go to Green Bay. They're in Minnesota. A lot of people, a lot of the sharps, they like to call them in Vegas, like the Vikings here. I don't trust the Vikings. The Vikings have had a 7-point lead in every game this year and are 4-5. That tells me about their team. If you have a touchdown lead in every single game and yet are only somehow 4-5 under 500, that tells me something about your team. And it's like the same thing with Kirk Cousins. He always puts up great stats, but he doesn't win games. Stats are for losers. It's all about wins and losses, especially when you talk about the quarterback position. That's how you're judged. I mean, look at a guy like Mac Jones. You know, he's 7-4. His touchdown to interception ratio isn't great, but he's winning games, and that's what it's about. And then the last one, we go to 2-team tees. I'm going to take the Ravens at pick on the road at the Bears in a big game for the Ravens. You know, this AFC's really jumbled together. That's one of the reasons the Raiders obviously are still in the midst of it, because, you know, every team has 3 losses or more except for the Titans. And I think the Titans, they have the Texans this week, but watch that game. I could see an upset in that one. But the Titans without Henry, I think, are really going to come back down to earth. I really do. So it's wide open in the AFC, but I'm going to take the Ravens at pick, and I'm going to tease the Cowboys up to 8.5 against the Chiefs. And I actually think the Chiefs are – I like the Cowboys in that game. I think the Cowboys are end up winning that game outright and beat the Chiefs.
We can only hope.
Well, everybody thinks the Chiefs now just because 1 week. It's, the Chiefs are back. Well,
Right.
We'll see. We'll see if they're back.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's holes in the defense. Dallas is really, a balanced team. We'll really see this week if the Chiefs are back.
All right. And the Raiders?
I'm going to go with the Bengals. I just, the Bengals, you got 2 teams both coming off 2 bad losses. The Bengals are off a bye, and I think Cincinnati's more balanced. Both the defenses are playing well. Both defenses get pressure on the quarterback. But to be honest with you right now, I trust Joe Burrow over Derek Carr. And I hate to – and the big thing's going to be for the Raiders is shutting down Jamar Chase, and not many teams have had success doing it. I think the Bengals are going to win. I don't like what I see out of the Raiders, especially a game like last week. I don't mind them losing, but it's how they lost, that really concerned me. And with all the distractions and everything going on, and you got an interim head coach, I'm concerned. But like you guys said, winning cures everything. They win this week, the whole season can turn around. But I just have a feeling I like how the Bengals look, and I think Joe Burrow is going to go in there and get a W.
All right, must win, baby.
Must
Nevada
win.
Nick is betting against us. It's all good, Nevada Nick.
But to say, Angela, I agree with you in this. I have no clue, to be honest with you. I'm just going with what I like. Like last week, I liked the Raiders because the eye test said to me the Raiders were the better team with what you've seen so far in the year. But that's the problem with the Raiders. Like you guys all said it. You don't know what's going to show up. And as a gambler, I wouldn't bet this game, to be honest with you. But you don't trust. You like to see teams that are look at the Patriots now. Teams like that are playing better and getting better every week, and especially going into November. This is when teams should know their identity by now. You should know what you want to do to win. And I don't know I don't think the Raiders have an identity.
Oh. Wow. What a statement.
I know.
Wow.
But hey,
We're all like,
Throw that man a Raider shirt.
We have like,
Well,
we're like,
no, I'm not sure.
what do we say?
You know, and I'll say this.
Oh, we know. Okay, thanks for saying it.
No, but you guys saw with the Eagles. Look how bad you guys beat the Eagles. The Eagles now are at least saying what their identity is. They're saying, all right, we got to run the ball and keep our defense off the field. And look, we still lost to the Chargers, and that's going to happen. At least you're going down playing to your identity. I don't think the Raiders exactly know what, they struggle to run the ball. I always said I didn't like the offensive line, and I think that's going to be what kind of does them in. I mean, I still like the defense. The defense is better, but, too, you can't deny the Ruggs situation really hurt. That changed that offense because having just him line up, you had to account for him on the field. And now that's gone. And look, I love Deshaun, but Deshaun can only give you a certain amount of plays. And you saw what happened on the first play he had. He does those kinds of things. That's the guy who in Dallas, and we hate the Cowboys. He freaking threw the ball at the 1 yard line like when he played for the Eagles. So that's kind of, you get the good with the bad with Deshaun.
All right.
Shaq and a fool.
Jeff Davis, you don't have to like kind of apologize if you will. He says Raider fan for life, but being honest, I'm thinking we're going 9-8. Yes, like I say, those we.
Hey, that was my
that's
original.
Mine too. So I'm sticking with that.
But
so.
Thor, your original was 8, 9, 10, or 11 wins.
Right.
That's
my
original
was 8-1, then 9-8, then 10. Yeah.
This was an interesting statement from Travis because I think this is actually a contradiction. Raiders are the better team; they just keep falling apart. So if you keep falling apart, does that really make you the better team?
So I would say this to that. I think that, Nick just said, stats are for losers. Winning is for winners. W's are for win. Like you win or you lose. But if you look at the stats, we have a better ranked offense and a better ranked defense than them. Not by much, but by some, except in the red zone. We have worse scoring points in the red zone and way worse at giving up points in the red zone. So we're just putting up numbers. That's why I think this game is super evenly matched. But I also think they're still the Bengals. At some point, they're still the Cincinnati Bengals. And most
people will say that about the Raiders. Well, we're still playing the Raiders.
Of course they would. But I mean, so on that, we have a little bit of home field advantage only because we didn't have to travel, not because of what
that was going to be my next question.
Like. However, do you even know any Bengal fans? I've been around all week. I haven't seen not one Bengal fan.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that'll be interesting. Speaking of home field advantage, we all know the Raiders have no home field advantage because Las Vegas will never be home. But I think so far, every other team has turned up. Every other team's fan has turned up. You get the regular teams that travel well. But so far this season, I think every other team travels well. But to that point, I don't know any Bengals fans. I never really even seen any out in the wild. So I think it'll be interesting to see if that stadium is full with Cincinnati fans. I mean, if that's the case, that's the case, then there's no shot of any home field advantage ever if a team like the Bengals fans can turn up.
Was anybody here at the game last against the Chiefs?
I wasn't.
No.
What was it like in regards to fan ratio? I heard there were a lot of Chiefs there.
Awful. It was awful.
Wow.
It was probably 60-40 Raiders or 55-45 Raiders. But they were out there acting a fool, though. I mean, out there just acting a damn fool. And it's been like that almost every game out there, right? But obviously we knew KC was going to come because they're our main rival. And then we knew the Eagles were going to travel pretty well. We knew the Bears were going to come a little bit. That's like Angela just said. I don't know a Bengal fan, and I'm out. I'm out and around and about all the time. Not all the time, but enough. And I haven't seen you would see a couple KC fans, and you would see Eagle fans and Bear fans, and I just haven't even seen because I don't know. I don't know if maybe they're all showing up today, but I haven't seen not one Bengal fan. I don't know a Bengal fan, so we'll see on Sunday what happens.
I actually didn't think that. I wasn't expecting the Bears fans to turn up as big as they did.
I wasn't expecting them to turn up as big, but I knew there would be some. Cause at least I know some Bear fans. Like I know some Bear fans. I know some people from Chicago, and I know some Bear fans, and I knew there would be some for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, they showed up and showed out for sure.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so they're pretty much kind of dealing with like what the Chargers are dealing with. I know maybe not to like. I mean, the Chargers basically they have 17 road games basically with how they're playing the Chargers, but still, it's home field, and you're seeing it this year. It's a big thing. I mean,
like that for the Raiders too.
Yeah, it's hard for other offenses if the stadium's loud to get into a rhythm. You have the obviously the false start penalties. There's and I know like defensively you fuel off that too. Hearing that crowd's getting loud. It's a shame.
I will say this about the Chargers game because we were there and there were a ton of Raiders fans. If you walked around that stadium, I felt like that's all you saw was black. Here's the difference though. When the game was actually being played, and maybe it's because the Chargers, were playing well, the Chargers fans were actually the fans that were there were actually pretty loud.
Yeah,
I felt like it was pretty.
Winning helps that.
I felt like it was pretty evenly matched in terms of crowd noise, even though the Raiders fans seemingly had more fans in the stands.
But still, with as big a tradition as the Oakland Raiders are, like I put
we need to drink on that.
I'll drink to that one.
No, Oakland.
Like, it's just the same to think that would never happen in Oakland. Never. Just like in Philly, never. I mean, we get other fans, but fans aren't coming and making it close, or even you're not taking our stadium over, and that's what's just it's a shame.
Right. Agree.
Right. I mean, right. It wouldn't. And there'd be a few. And I actually have heard on social media people were talking about this, and they were saying, "Oh, you remember when all these fans came to Oakland and yeah, sure. There have been a time or two where a bunch of Pittsburgh's the only one where it's crazy.
No, Dallas too. I think I remember a lot of Dallas.
Oh, maybe
fans.
Dallas.
Yeah,
maybe
Dallas.
Dallas.
You don't like Pittsburgh, though.
But
like
the
Pittsburgh,
difference is out there they weren't going to come out there and act like disrespectful. Like they straight up are disrespectful out here with dudes wearing the fuck Raiders shirt and all that. And coming through talking crazy, like show up, like we tell anyone, show up to our tailgate, have a good time, have a beer, have some food, kick it. We're all good. We love to have fun. Like Hefe comes in here, be respectful, talk your little bit of team shit. That's cool, but don't come in here with all that fuck this shit and fuck that shit about this, that, and the other because. It don't go down like that. But out here,
but it does.
It's starting to go down like that. It's a damn shame.
I thought they weren't letting in riffraff.
Yeah, and I wonder what's going to happen over time too, because in Oakland, obviously all the success you had with Madden and just the tradition. And now you go to Vegas, and the last 2 decades haven't been as successful. And I just wonder if it's going to, after a couple years. I mean, I know you guys are all lifelong Raiders fans. I'm not, but still, it's, I wonder if it's going to change that toughness a little bit. You can see it already at the stadium. It's
already changed. It's already changed. And honestly, I think if the Raiders don't improve, which there's no real signs of improvement.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's going to get worse. I think Raiders fans the novelty is going to wear off. I think ticket prices will still be high. And I think opposing teams will
take over.
Fans will still pay for that one-time experience where Raiders fans probably aren't going to
want
to do it over and over. And once everyone's seen the stadium, which most people have at this point, and they don't have a winning record, I think the Raiders fans will actually become less and less unless they really start to win.
Right. And how long of a drive is it from Oakland to Vegas?
Too damn far.
Yeah.
9 hours.
So it's like
9 hours away. Too damn far.
And I'm curious too to what the number is of people that had season tickets in Oakland that went to Vegas. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a lot of them too that just did it to obviously for financial reasons because they knew the price of the ticket was going to get.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't buy in, and I think are kind of kicking themselves. But several people did. I don't know the numbers. Maybe 50, it might be 50-50. I really don't know.
Right.
Yeah, because I think the season ticket holder here in Oakland, they were really loyal to their seat, and so moving over to Vegas,
it's a great point.
It's huge increase in price. So they kind of just said, no, that's not where I want to sit. Where else?
If they couldn't sit in their seat that they had in Oakland, which might have been a $10,000 PSL, they certainly didn't want to or think to move to the uppers where PSLs were a lot less expensive. So they just said, forget it altogether.
Right.
I think that did happen.
Here we go. We got some insight here on Cincy. There's actually is a big Cincinnati fan base, but they only show up in their stadium. They don't travel. So we'll see how that goes down.
See, Las Vegas is a destination. Maybe they're getting a crew together and they're going to head on down. That's what.
Because they might start traveling.
Gary Owen might actually show up because his wife is from Oakland and she a Raider fan, so he might show up.
There you go. One person. I'm kidding.
I hope. But he a Bengal fan, so he probably got bread, so he might bring a bunch of the homies from Cincinnati.
No, but to your point, Moon, maybe they didn't travel well before. They might travel better now because we've noticed this even in the Raiders fan base. A lot of these people that aren't from California, usually the ones that aren't from California, the ones that are mostly complaining about, ticket prices and things like that, they never traveled to Oakland even. But now you see them wanting to travel to Vegas or travel to Vegas, not even to go to the game because tickets might even be too high, or they are going to one-off here and there. And it's like, okay, you never even went to a game in Oakland or LA, but now you're traveling to Vegas. So if that's going to change in the, in that aspect, maybe other teams will say, hey, we never wanted to go to Oakland. We'll go to Vegas now.
Yeah. We'll see.
By the way, I'm holding back on talking mad shit about those people who never came to Oakland and think they want to talk shit about us now that they out in Vegas. So anyway, if you want to come to me, that could be a whole separate
hold back
conversation.
or let it go. But real quick, can I say must win because we all a little bit slow this morning. So let's go.
So, must win, baby.
Just a little slow. We only started 30 minutes later than we intended. The pass was intended for 9. We started at 9:30. So what's up? It's the Raider Bunch. What's up, fam? It's the Raider Bunch.
Raider Bunch.
What's the Raider Bunch? Are we the Raider Bunch? Like the little heads, like we'll look around and point, or the Muppets.
And Angela, to bring your point too about must win more too, the schedule does not get easy. They, basically the Raiders are going to be an underdog in 4 of the 5 next games. It's not they go obviously Cincinnati this weekend, but then like I said, at Dallas in a short week, then they will be a favorite at home against the Raiders, but then they're at the Chiefs, at the Browns. I mean, it's a tough, and the Browns will be healthy by then. It's they got a tough road ahead.
It's not supposed to be easy. All games are tough. It's the NFL.
Right. No, you're right.
Any given Sunday. Better. A lot of times we play better as an underdog when nothing is expected of us.
Right. Exactly.
That's what's crazy about them. Right?
It's crazy.
You saw it early in the year.
Right. When we be favored, it's like me and Thor always talk like, oh, man, we favored. How's this going to go?
We're favored. Bet us when we a dog. Like Baltimore, we were a dog, 1 outright. Pittsburgh, we were a dog, 1 outright. I mean...
Can I just put this comment up because I love it and it's true, and I'm not sure. Actually, I am sure that Vegas does not have this stigma. Travis says nobody felt safe traveling to O-Dot. We all know he means the Coliseum, and it's true. People would always tell me that. I would have to convince fans or friends of mine, I should say, not fans, friends, come through. It's cool, and they're like, I don't know.
Hey,
and once I would convince them, they're like, okay, but I'm not even going to wear my colors. I'm like, sounds good to me.
Right.
But we weren't that bad. But now it's like. It is that bad in the soft way.
I had a friend who's a Broncos fan who's an air marshal bring his gun to the freaking tailgate in Oakland. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna need that. And then he tried to get in with it, show all his credentials, and they were like, nah, man, you can't bring it in. I'm like, damn.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. That's funny.
The players will say that too. Not even just fans, players say it too. They used to always say about going to Oakland, going to the Vet in Philly, like you just didn't want to play there. I mean, the big thing with Oakland too is the baseball field and while the A's were still playing, and
yeah.
I mean,
and now they're saying, who was it that said on the Chiefs? He said, I thought we were going to hear Raiders, but we heard Chiefs, like Chiefs instead of Raiders. So that's the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Players even used to be afraid to come, and now they're like, oh, hey, let me hear my team name.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Hella crazy.
Hella crazy. I mean, there was the one picture of the
Hello.
dude in the black hole getting hugged by Chiefs fans. Now, see, shit like
Was it
that
the
would
black
never
hole
go
or
down.
was it the whack hole?
The whack hole, yeah. The whack hole.
It was the whack hole. Okay, that's different.
I
That's
mean,
different.
it's all good, man. You can come, but you can't show out like you. But that's because everywhere you go out here, and I've seen multiple, like the home opener when I was out there screaming Raiders, and no one even like I be walking through casinos yelling red all day, and you don't get nothing back. Like in the Mandalay, I mean, you don't get nothing back. I'm like, what's going on?
You don't even
here,
get it back
man?
in the stadiums, Thor. You don't even
I
get it
know
back
what
in
I'm saying. You don't get it back nowhere. Like right now, I was in Oakland on Wednesday. I started yelling Raiders. I got 4 responses right away.
Just for the hell of it. He's like walking through Target.
For real though. You know how we do? You see a couple Raider fans, right? Let's go, and they be ready. Out here, they look at you cross-eyed like you're on drugs. And I'm like, I'm
never
just
been
drinking.
to an Oakland Raiders game. They don't
I'm
know.
just drinking.
Shoot, even though Chucky knows the yell Raiders, we gotta get the 6-year-old to start schooling people.
Right. We might need to get some shirts made. When I yell Raiders, you yell it back. and just like walk around the stadium and just kind of, hey, do you know what to do when I yell Raiders? I mean, literally. Maybe we need to bring the cameras, Angela.
No, as a joke, and we should put like maybe not as a joke. Maybe I'll actually make these and we'll put our branded, YouTube channel on it. Like a flyer, like what you do. We are quiet on offense. We yell Raiders.
Fan instructions. There you go. Nice.
It's like, I knew she was. It's like the code of conduct, but it's like the fan instructions. Here we go. We'll even get it. We'll even get it laminated here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not the fan code of conduct.
That's great. Like I know in Philly, if you're not cheering, like fans will get on you. Like they want you to get loud, stand up, and
yes, that's me.
They get on other fans if you're not like getting a part of being, getting rowdy, and they don't play around.
Yeah, we got to make flyers and send them out. Send the flyers out to all the booster clubs. Make sure everybody's on board. Be like, hand these out all over the fucking stadium.
I know. It's crazy.
That's how it was in Oakland, though. Everyone stood up. Everyone yelled. Out here, I mean, I've been to three home games. It's almost hard to stand. You stand up and people want you to sit down. What? Huh?
Wow.
Like, man, come on.
You're in a movie theater.
Please. You're right. Exactly. Quiet, please. The show is on. Put your cell phones away.
Raiders here in thread says if you yell Raiders in Mandalay Bay, security will show up.
Hey, no, they won't. They won't show up. Well, maybe they will.
They keep your eye
on you.
Well,
how about this comment by Raider? Are we calling him Raider Hefe now? Raider Hefe.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez's dad said Raiders fans surrounded him in the bathroom in Oakland. Ooh, I want to hear that story. That sounds juicy. I'll give him this one since we're calling him Raider Hefe. I heard they sell wine and cheese in the black hole.
Oh.
And they do? Do they really?
No.
Oh, okay. See, that's it. I didn't know.
In the whack hole, they might. In the whack hole.
That was always a famous Niner tailgate that served the wine and cheese.
Yep.
Napa Valley. That makes sense.
Right.
Everyone that's still on here, if you haven't already, please light that torch and hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you want to support the show and more than just what you're doing right now by watching and liking and sharing, you can always hit that super chat button down below to help support the show as well. And we appreciate all of you. Let us know if you have any questions. We have about 10 minutes left. If you have any questions for any of us that you want to answer, or just questions in general. I know we kind of got off on this tangent because we Oakland Raiders fans, and sometimes it just like hits a nerve.
Because we must win,
never
baby.
Let the culture go. We're
never
never
gonna
going to let our culture
If you think we're ever going to get over it, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I've been following the Raiders more closely now for the last 2 years, and I think it's shaved about 15 years off my life. So how you guys do it, man? Oh, how you guys do it? I had them last year in my survivor pool against the Jets. So I'm like, the Raiders suck. I'm never ever. And then they, Carr, of course, throws against the 0 and they hit. I'm like, wow, I love it's just, man, it is a roller coaster ride with the team. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, you just never know what's going to show up. Hopefully, the Raiders show up tomorrow and get a W.
I think, I don't know if you get thick. I don't know if I got thicker skin or just because of the move. I'm still a little salty, but I kind of like brush it off now. I used to get mad. I used to get like really mad.
No,
I used to get really mad where like I had to get my Mother Moon had to put me on a timeout.
Oh yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart, man. And you go through a lot of ups and downs, and and it definitely toughens you up.
Yeah. Right.
My thing is
out really quickly. Shout out to Raider Travis. Thank you, Raider Travis.
And we're drinking.
And he said must win, baby. So we'll drink.
Thank you, sir.
My thing is as Raiders fans, as an organization, you guys deserve better. You really do.
Totally.
I mean, it's a proud organization. And I know I was crying in the early 2000s because we couldn't get to the Super Bowl. I can't imagine being in the playoffs once in 19 years. Like, as a fan base, you deserve better. I mean, can you imagine what Al Davis would be thinking right now? I mean, he wouldn't care about Vegas and the
Just
stadium.
win, baby.
You said it, Mama Moon, and that's what it was all about. He don't care about glitz and clamor. He just wanted to win, and that's what it's all about, not pretty stadiums in Vegas.
Actually, that's a great point. Not only did he not care about it, I kind of think he shied away from it. He wanted the rugged kind of reputation, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, you can't have because it's hard to have the autumn wind in a dome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right. In the desert, in the dome.
AKA Raiders Sal, until the NFL and referees treat us fairly, it makes it difficult to win games, is what he thinks. Yeah, I mean, there's been, obviously. Max last week, but I always go back to the note card, that damn note card. My goodness. Or index card. Index card.
I don't know. I never heard that story. What's that about?
Where the referee used the index card to not give us the first down?
Yeah.
Index card out of his pocket, shoved it in between the sticks and the ball.
And said, nope.
Still call first down.
Oh, you got to find it.
What's
it's
that,
so
Q?
good.
And he still called first down.
Right, he still called first down, even though there was room in. But we saw you put this thing. I didn't even know that was in the rule book or an official measuring tool. But then since you decided,
but you see it happen against the Raiders.
Room in between there.
Hey, this is the best comment I think I've seen in a long, long time. Because I say that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hey, but it seemed like he's tried to taper it, though. I was like, did he try to add a fade to his bowl?
Like, how do you be a millionaire? And that's what I just don't know. He's got tons of money. That's one thing I'll never understand. Like,
old boy need a buzz cut. Just fuck it. If you want to harden it up, just buzz cut that shit for us,
Right.
Oh no! Wear a hat.
We can't answer that.
Yeah, wear a hat. There you go. That's what I would do.
Just wear a Raider hat. I mean,
he might look better bald too. I don't know. Do something.
But you gotta admit, it is perfect. Not a hair out of line.
Moon says, but it's the perfect bowl cut. I guess. I guess that's a positive spin on that mess.
There's not a hair out of line. It's like perfect.
It looks like the cut from Dumb and Dumber.
It does. Lloyd.
And he knows it in the interview we saw.
Is this Talk Shit Tuesday?
I don't know. Okay, yeah. Back to tomorrow's game.
We talked a little bit about tomorrow's game. Must win, blah, blah, blah. Hey, fuck this. Hey, we roll with it.
That sums up the show right there, right?
What y'all want to talk about? Let's see what else.
Well, who has a prediction for tomorrow? What's the score going to be? Before we get out of here.
You go first, Q. You go first.
Well, we know I'm going to say it's a win, so let me just get a score for y'all. 27-24, Raiders.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm going to go 24-20 Bengals.
Ooh. I don't even know.
That's what I want to say, to be honest.
I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game at all.
Yeah, I think for us to win, it'll be a lower score game. I would say 24-21 Raiders.
I was thinking lower scoring too. I'm going 16-13 Raiders.
Whoa.
That is low.
Okay.
That's very low.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do I have to give a number?
We have a couple of predictions in line.
I mean, I just hope they win. I don't think they will.
Hey, that was a real answer, right? That was a real answer.
And that's not entirely true. I think they can, and I think it's a must win because I actually don't think they're going to win the next game against the Cowboys. I think that's going to be a big fat L, and I honestly think that's going to be an ass whooping. So they better win tomorrow.
That was one of my original losses, and the way things are happening, I see us losing to the Browns. So I think we should win tomorrow.
All right, let's see. We have a couple predictions here from the viewers. 28-21 Raiders. We have 20-13 Raiders, of course, and 24-21. So everyone's kind of in and around the same 24-17. I don't know. Yeah, same Jeff. I don't know. We just want to win exactly because it's a must win. And if they don't win this game, I really I honestly believe it's going to just slide right into a losing season, and I definitely think it's going to be a losing record going into the following week against Washington if they can't pull this one out.
Now, what do you think about the coach? Do you think you guys like the new coach, or do you want a new head coach at the end of the year?
I would like him if we were winning. If we went out,
yeah.
I only like him depending on that damn record at the end of the season.
Yeah, I guess it's playoff or bust. If he makes the playoffs, I think you got to bring him back, and if not, but to me, I would completely clean house because too, no matter what, Ruggs and Arnett and what happened too, that reflects on Mayock. It just does. I mean,
Mayock got to go.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know what they were, but obviously there were some kind of character issues. And just think, you could have CeeDee Lamb instead of.
The only thing about that though was Gruden influencing Mayock. That was Gruden's ship. So that'd be my only question. I'm not on the inside, and I'm not trying to defend Mike Mayock, but that would be the one thing if I did know how much influence those picks had by Gruden.
Right. So, I'm sure they did.
Gruden hired Mayock. How does the coach hire the general manager? Gruden was making all them calls. Mayock, I think he was there better for the later round picks, but them early round picks, I 1,000% think that was totally Gruden.
Because Arnett could be a byproduct of them picking up old boy who was a high character but didn't perform. What's the DN we picked up with the number 4 pick that we shouldn't have? Farrell, remember? All high character. They passed up on the one kid who went to Buffalo because of a few character issues, but then we blow a first-round pick on Arnett who had character issues. So that's why I question, you see Mayock's kind of style, character, blah, 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 and then the Arnett head scratcher, was that Gruden? You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I say, I'm not defending him, but I do have questions how we have these very extreme type of picks.
How many coaches hired a general manager? I mean, that never happens.
Well, what I think that shows you part of the problem is it starts from the very top with the owner. And that's where – look, at the last –
there's no leadership there.
Is all on Mark Davis. I mean,
that's probably why he hired Gruden. He didn't want to do shit. I don't want to think. You do it.
So, yeah, I mean, it's from the top on bottom. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Nevada Nick. I think it's time to clean house. It's what I'd say. We don't want to rebuild again, but it's like every year, it's not really rebuilding, but it's not really advancing either.
Is Carr part of that rebuild, Nick?
I think
I wouldn't. No, I would go elsewhere because to me, you're stuck in this in between land, and that's no fun. You want to win. You want to make the playoffs. You want to do something. Who wants to just? I mean, you're not a losing team, but you're not a winning team. You know what I mean? You're just stuck in the middle, and that's not fun either.
That's the worst place to be.
I agree.
We're scrapping the whole. We're scrapping the whole car.
Well, it's just I don't know how old he is now, but I would just go, especially with some of the guys out there, Watson, Rodgers, and look, supposedly they said Rodgers wanted to go to Vegas, and it's crazy to say on a guy like Rodgers, and then if you can bring a couple other pieces, that could turn everything around. Trust me, he's going to make players like those receivers better. That would be a different team with Rodgers as a QB.
As long as we keep the D line, though, I'm like, keep the D line, keep a lot of our defense. You know what I mean? I think we're a few pieces from having a really good defense.
Yeah, I think that's actually been built upon very well. But to your point, Nevada Nick, I would say that as well. We all know the Raiders can't draft for shit. I would actually like to see them start just picking up players, like kind of, like you said, established players, not like, yeah, exactly. Free agents, and not like these guessing games of the draft. Of course, the draft's important, but I think other significant moves really need to be made as well.
No, I agree.
Hefe said Raiders win 30-13. You think Hefe ain't really a Raider fan? Secretly? Come on, man. No one here even thinks that much.
Definitely.
There's some Raider in there. There's some Raider in that Hefe.
He's in his Raiders boxers right now on the computer. Trust me. I definitely think he's a closet Raiders fan.
That's so funny.
Let's just address this question. It's just kind of an interesting note here. Derek Carr said himself this a different team. What do you think he means by that? You think he is happy or nah?
Nah.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he honestly cares. I don't think he's happy or unhappy. He's always in this like, I don't know, whatever, as long as I'm a good man and my kids love me. Like, I don't think he, and right, you should be a good man and your kids should love you, but who gives a shit? We're talking about football.
My
guess, what I mean?
He's saying this isn't the team of the past that had the second half collapses, that in November and December fell apart. That would be my guess. I would hope. If it's not, it's a different team in another way. I don't, that's not exactly something you want out of your quarterback.
I saw him come out and say that he meant like in the last couple of years, he said after losses like this, he said a lot of times he'd get there early and there wouldn't be a lot of other players there, but he's been coming in early and there's been a lot more people there. I mean, Carr always says the right stuff. It's always nice and the right stuff. We'll see. Time will tell. Performance tells. We'll see.
To me, though, you're throwing your teammates under the bus by saying that, though. So you're saying because some of those guys were still there in previous years. By you saying, before, other years like come in, nobody being early, to me, you're kind of throwing your teammates under the bus. I mean, now it could be true, but still, you're the leader.
Like you said, Nevada Nick, we're in the middle stage. Sometimes we need to throw somebody under the bus.
You might be right.
People up.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. Sometimes
you got a new guy.
Ain't nothing else work.
Kenyon Drake calling out folks. You know what I mean? Like, what's that about? He ain't been on the team 10 minutes and he already calling out people in game 9 or 10 or whatever. Like, hey, y'all don't want to play. You need to go.
I like it.
Because all that being quiet, not saying nothing and trying to say what's right, that ain't worked. So try something different.
Oh, yeah. Give me the Tom Brady approach every time where you're throwing footballs at the ground, screaming at people, going, give me that every time.
Gannon has said a long time ago Carr needs to be a lot more vocal in that manner, to be more of a field general. And I don't think we've seen it.
Let me ask you guys this kind of short answer, though, because we are past our time here just a little bit. Do you guys think Carr has heart?
I think in the way we want to see it, no. I think he has this big heart, outside of football. But what we want to see, we haven't seen it. So I'll say that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say he has that like a good heart, but not in that like toughness grit kind of way.
Right, that's what I mean. For the team, he's got the heart. He's got a heart for his personal life.
He's a good human being, but sometimes you don't want that as your kid.
He has, like they said, a good heart, but he has no cojones.
There you go. Perfect. Yep.
He's a good dude, but he ain't got no nuts. No.
Okay.
Hey, I still think he could develop it. I think go take some MMA, get punched in the face a lot so you won't flinch. Because you have to keep your eyes open when you're fighting and while you're getting punched in the face. So I think there is, you know what I mean? If I knew him, I'd be like, hey, bro, there's a lot of MMA places in Las Vegas, dog. Some of the best. Go spar with them a lot on the.
You know, that's an interesting point, though. I don't know if you're semi-kidding or not, but that would
I'm
be
dead
some good.
serious.
That would be some good training for him. Maybe some different kind of training.
Yes.
You know, he knows the plays and all that kind of stuff, but maybe some different kind of training would actually be beneficial.
Right. I think it'll help him think through adversity. I mean, I've done MMA training. It's grueling and being punched in the face, and you have to think. There is no penalty.
Poise in the pocket is so important. Just to be able to sit there and maintain your poise when heat's coming at you, and to throw the ball, get rid of it, and take the shot. There's nothing like it, and that's the thing. You saw it with just the way he threw that ball up last week. I mean, it was multiple times too.
Twice,
I think it was. I know of two. It might have been three. I mean, he just threw it up for grabs. There wasn't even a hope. The one time, who the hell is he throwing to? Is he throwing?
Yeah, I remember two specifically. What's up, Scotty Waddy, Raider 1, Raider Speedy. Good morning or good afternoon or wherever you are watching from. A couple new viewers, but we are probably going to wrap it up here. Any final thoughts, anyone?
This game is a must win.
Must win, baby.
Cheers.
Must win.
Must win. Hey,
oh Lord, we're all drunk.
That's all I can say. I'm just gonna have my fingers crossed every Sunday.
There you go, Nevada Nick. Thank you so much for being here. We'll let you go before we go out all the way because you're not quite there yet. Although you do owe us one because you said you were going to. You said you were going to do it in New York, so you do owe us one.
Let's send him a shirt, and now he can just wear it on the show.
There we go.
I want to.
I know. I heard him. I almost feel like I should put him on the big screen so we can cut it out later and use it for promo.
Did you hear that?
What did I hear?
I didn't.
Did somebody put this comment up?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what's up?
No, I just can't hear you.
No, Thor put a comment up. I thought he was going to react to it.
Oh, I did. I did. Raider King 916. First time I think I seen you here, so thanks. Hope you hit the subscribe button and like and all that, and we'd love to see you more often. But he said what I've been saying forever. Carr has not been the same since he broke his leg. I mean, and we still have faith in the team and everything, and we hope the team. But since that happened, he hasn't been the same. And I thought he was on a good projection to be a solid, great NFL quarterback until that. And sometimes that happens. You get hurt and you're never the same. And I don't know if he can get it back. At points, I think he is, but it's not. I don't know. You're just getting older and you're getting slower and you're getting time to retire almost. Please go away. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I think consistency is the problem with him. Mm-hmm. You know, you see it. It's just with your quarterback. Yeah, all quarterbacks have bad games, but you just want to see consistency with it, season in, season out, and it's just not there with him. It just hasn't been.
Yeah, and I think also after he, did get injured, that he's taking the mentality, it's just a game. He doesn't want to get injured. He has a large family now. So it is not just a game. It's your teammates' livelihood.
Well, he actually said that.
Yeah, he actually said that. It's just a game. So anyway.
All right. Well, this is a must-win game. Let's try to go out on a positive note here because we want to see a W tomorrow.
Let's go.
We want to go 6-4 going into that very important game on Thanksgiving. And oh my gosh,
don't
are you
forget
ready?
to like.
Oh my goch, this is going to be so great here. I love it already. Because we go out one way and only one way.
Yes, I represent the nation. Our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation, our story. That's right. And I'm with Spicy Girl and that Mother Moon. La Familia. Mighty Thor and a Quiet Q. Super Hood. Omar. On the grill. And the B-Lot. 3 amigos. 4 brothers. Mr. Nicely Seasoned. What's the mariachis without Senior Raider? Representing just like the beginning Oakland Raiders. Darlene and the Raider home. What about Little Chucky Gruded, my boss. Black Eyes. We're tailgaters. And it began on an autumn day. Right here in the OAK. California dreaming in that golden state. Alameda County right here in the Bay. And you could find me on that east side, yo. Representing that east side, oh. But no matter what we represent the shield, just like Anna in the band club Emeryville. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Raider Nation. Our story, our story. Yo, representing silver and the black, Mr. Matter of Fact, yo, is here. Without showing any pity, from Oakland to Los Angeles to Vegas, all the way to Mexico City. And I represent that nation. Our story, our story. Yes, I represent the nation. Our story, our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation. Our story. Right. Yo, this is my story, and I represent it with the pride and the poise commitment to that excellence. I represent with noise. This is how I do it. The silver and the black, and I come into the track, and I represent it. Matter of fact. And I'm cruising around with Hollywood Raider all around the town, and I just found out Raider Savage on the interstate. Raider de la Baja, yeah, orale. So get over here, cause we representing now. And that I don't win as a pirate. They gotta win as a breeze. They gotta win as a race. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Dedicated to the nation. Our story, our story. Raider Nation. Our story, our story. Yo, representing silver and the black, Mr. Matter of Fact, yo, is here. Without showing any pity, from Oakland to Los Angeles to Vegas, all the way to Mexico City. And I represent that nation. Our story. Yes, I represent the nation. Our story. Yes, I represent that nation. Our story. Raider Nation. That's right, Mr. Matter of Fact is here.